Merry Christmas Eve. No? Okay. It's going to be Merry. Hello? Hello? There it is. There it is. Sound. Merry Christmas Eve. So we want to greet you on this awesome Christmas Eve evening. And you might notice that we're not Paula. And the reason we're not Paula is Paula threw her back out. Oh, I know.
So if you would just take a moment to send her some healing energy, not just wishing her a wonderful and happy and Merry Christmas, but take a moment, visualize her, and just send her some healing energy so that tomorrow she wakes up and she's dancing.
And say a prayer for Chet, who is filling in. Hey, Chet. For Chet. So as we always do, we're going to start by singing joyfully together. And this year, it's a little bit different because you'll notice that the lyrics are on the screen, hopefully.
There they are. So we'll get started, and you'll see what song that we're singing because the song will pop up. So please join us in caroling before the program begins.
Well, good evening. Good evening. And welcome to our Christmas candlelight service on this eve of the Mass celebration of the Christ presence. And we greet you in the name of this Christ nature that is within each and every one of us. And we do so also in this warm and loving spirit of this community known as Spiritual Life Center. Thank you so much for coming out this evening as we remind ourselves of who and what we really are by looking at the great example of our possibilities, Jesus the Christ. Let us begin by connecting with this presence we call God in prayer. Divine Spirit, it is within you that we live and we move and we have our very beingness in. As we make this the activity of our awareness, through the thoughts we have, the words we speak, the actions that we take, we begin to radiate from the depths of our being, our true nature, as children of the Most High. And as we make this presence the activity of our awareness, healings begin to happen, upliftment happens, transformation for ourselves and our world begins to happen, and we begin to anchor a little bit more of heaven, the ever-expanding good in our lives and in our world. So we're grateful to be the vessels and vehicles of this presence. And as we make this the activity of our consciousness, we can say that when you see me, you see the presence that sent me. For this presence and I and all of us are one. And we say so in the name and the nature of the Spirit of the living God that dwells within each and every one of us. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen.
And this evening, there is just so much beautiful energy here in the sanctuary. And we asked this evening that you hold your applause until we get to the end of the program. So we are graced with the musical selections of our music director, who is not with us, but with us in spirit, Paula Mandella. We have the amazing SLC choir with Lejon Walker conducting. Our gifted musician tonight on the keyboard is Chet Chwalik. And we do ask that you hold your applause. That is, you got a little out of your system. Do we maybe need to, in unison, do a clap so that we can get it out of our system? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Very good. It's inevitable.
I feel like we're on a game show with the audience.
I feel like I'm like a manger manager a little bit, and it's a little hectic. So we also have a very special guest with us tonight. Her name is Laurel Zucker, and she is a world-renowned flute virtuoso, an award-winning recording artist, a graduate of the Juilliard School, and a beloved professor at Sacramento State University. Our soloists this evening are Roach, Lejon Walker, Lahre Shiflet, David DeMario, and David Moore.
And I'd like to introduce our Nativity Players for this evening, and we're playing the various roles. Mary will be played by Mary Rupp, Joseph by J.G. Gonsalves, the Manger by Cindy Bennett, the Angel by Carol Bruce, the Star by Bayley Short, Mary O'Brien. Thank you for correcting what is not on this paper. The Shepherd by David Briggs, is that correct? It is. Okay. The Wise Man by Wade Edwards, and the Christ Child, Jonathan Padley.
And our candlelight this evening is a very sacred and deeply contemplative evening. So it's an opportunity for each of us to really go within. So to preserve the flow of the evening and support the meditative experience, we are going to ask that you hold your applause. We will also take our love offering early. And at this point, if you brought a cell phone in with you and you have not already shut it off, please do so now. And no flash photography. It really throws off the animals in the manger and the choir and a few other folks. So, as you entered the sanctuary, we trust that you got your candle from an usher. And if there is anyone that did not get their candle, if you would hold your hand up, and we will make sure that you get one. All right, I'm assuming everyone has one. So the ushers will light from the Christ candle. They'll come forward, and they will come to the first person in each row. Then we will extend the flame. We always hold the burning flame, the lit flame, upright. So it is only the unlit that gets tipped. So James is lit, I am not.
Yes. As you can very well see.
Just currently. Right?
That has a lot of different meanings depending upon where you're from.
And on a very sacred note, our Christ candle here this evening has traveled to us all the way from the grotto in Bethlehem, where it is said that Jesus was actually born. And in that grotto, a candle is perpetually kept lit. And it's legend that any candle that has been lit from a grotto candle carries with it that spark of Christ consciousness. So we welcome you to take your candle home with you tonight. There is a beautiful blessing that is attached to the bottom of it. And we do ask that you leave your plastic drip tray in the lobby. And so now it's time to prepare for our love offering. And when we give as source, as Jesus gave of his wisdom, we share that light and that vibration to the fullest extent possible. And what we share with that wisdom and that extent flows back to us. So that's a powerful reminder that we are that wisdom. And so together let us speak our blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. The Christ Spirit within me offers this gift in celebration of the Spirit of Christmas. You are so good, no one clapped. You qualify to be in the manger next year. So in this Christmas season, we celebrate the birth of the great teacher and our brother, Jesus of Nazareth. We also celebrate and reaffirm this Christ spirit that is within each one of us. We will tell the Christmas story tonight as narrated in the Gospels, portraying many of the Nativity characters to express the often hidden and deeper spiritual meaning of this event. We invite you to fully absorb this story as the truth of your own being, to allow these characters to be symbols of the wondrous Christ qualities within you. The Christmas story is not just an event that took place long ago and very far away. It's not just a tale about the birth of one extraordinary child in a humble manger. It is the Christmas story. It's the description of the birthing of the highest potential in each of us every single day. This is my story, and this is your story. And together, it's our story.
Send the night wind to the little lamb.
It states, the people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dealt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light was shined. You have multiplied the nation and increased its joy. They rejoice before you according to the joy of harvest. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. The angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David. And the virgin's name was Mary. And he came to her and said, Hail Mary, O favored one, the Lord is with you. Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you shall call his name Jesus.
Mary, full of innocence, carrying the Holy Prince, you're almost there. You're almost there. Mother of the living Word, trusting in the voice you heard, you're almost there. You're almost there. You're almost where the angels see redemption's plan unfolding. All hope is in the Son you'll bear. You're almost there. A lonely road, a willing heart, pray for peace to do your part.
You're almost there.
You're almost there. Trust the Father to provide bread of heaven prophesied.
You're almost there.
You're almost there.
You're almost where
The waiting ends, delivering
the life within, the answered prayer,
Emmanuel. You're almost there.
almost where the waiting ends, delivering the life within the answered prayer. Emmanuel, you're almost there. You're almost where the journey ends, where death will die and life begins. The answered prayer, Emmanuel, you're almost
I represent Mary, the mother of Jesus. I am the perfect love which fills your soul. I am the divine feminine in you. I am that in you which desires to see only good come to you and to every creature in the universe. I am that in you which does not want to hurt in any way. For I am open and receptive only to what is good and true. I am the purest and most gentle aspect of the love in your heart. Yet I am strong because all the good, all the power of good in the universe is with me and supports me. I am the kindness and sweetness of your nature, out of which will be born your understanding of your true self, a beloved child of God.
Now it came to pass in those days that there went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all the world should be enrolled, and all went to enroll themselves, everyone to his own city. Thus Joseph went up from Galilee, out of the city of Nazareth, into Judea, to the city of David, which is called Bethlehem, to enroll himself with Mary, who was betrothed to him, being great with child.
I represent Joseph, the husband of Mary. I am the strength and wisdom within you that guides and protects the love within your soul. Others suggest that I should separate myself from this love, that this love is making a fool of me. But I cannot do this, for I am only satisfied and complete when I am joined in love. I will never desert the love in your heart, and I will always nourish and support the new and wonderful good which is to come of our union.
And it came to pass, while they were there, the days were fulfilled that Mary should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and she wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn.
I represent the manger where Jesus was placed. I am evidence of the fact that wherever you put forth the best that is in you, you make of it a holy place. No matter how humble the surroundings or how unimportant the occasion, God is there and will protect you and bless you. You can always trust God. You need not look for God only in grand and impressive places. Think of me each time you are called upon to do your best, even though the situation does not seem quite worthy to you. For even in the most humble places, God is always there.
There were shepherds in the same country, abiding in the field and keeping watch by night over their flock.
I represent the shepherd of your thoughts. I am those simple, natural tendencies within you which abide in the field of your mind. I watch to see that you are comforted and protected. I gently but firmly bring you back to right, harmonious thinking when you are in danger of going astray. I am not the highest in you, but I am quick to acknowledge and joyfully surrender to your highest and best self. I am the first to know when you have come to the joyful realization of who and what you really are.
And an angel of the Lord stood by them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. They were afraid.
I represent the angel who brings good tidings of great joy. I am those radiant thoughts that come to you directly from the mind of God. Through me, God tells you that you have cause for joy and joy only. My news is always joyful because it concerns wonderful truths of your being. I tell you of your divine self. I tell you of all the peace and happiness you will encounter. I tell you you are one with all people. And I tell all people that they are now and forever one in God.
And the angel said unto them, Do not be afraid, for behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be to all the people. For there is born to you this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. And this shall be the sign to you. Ye shall find a babe wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. Now when Jesus was born, behold, wise men from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east, and we have come to worship him.
I represent the star which guided the wise men. I am your intuition. Sometimes I appear to you as a dim flicker in the sky of your mind. But as you recognize me and follow me, I become brighter and more familiar and radiate light from your heart. God has given me as a gift a guiding light to lead you into your highest good. Trust me, follow me, for I will not fail you nor lead you astray. I am attracted to only the good and the true.
The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of joy, the weary world rejoices, for yonder wakes a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angel voices, oh, night divine, oh, night Chains shall he break, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of praise in joyful chorus raise we, let all within us praise his holy name. Christ is the Lord, forever, ever praise we, Noel, Noel, oh night divine, Noel, Noel, oh night divine, Noel, oh night
And lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the child was. And when the wise men saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy.
I represent the wise men from the east. I'm all those buried powers deep within you, powers of which you are so long unaware. As soon as you came to a new realization of your wonderful, true self, I came to you as further evidence of the great spiritual resources that have always been within you. I bring you the gifts of newly discovered truths about yourself. My gold shows the richness of your spiritual nature. My frankincense shows the beauty of your true character. My myrrh shows the eternal perfection of your life in God.
And they entered in and saw the young child with Mary, his mother. And they fell down and worshiped him. And opening their treasures, they offered unto him gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
I represent the Christ child. I am the sum total of all good, which is the real you. I am the love in your heart, the wisdom in your mind, and the peace in your soul. You've given me birth out of your very own nature, just as Spirit created you out of itself. I am that which blesses you and gives new meaning and purpose to your life. Now because of Christmas, you have realized that you and I are really one, that we are eternally one in God.
Love incarnate, love divine.
This night, you watch over your flock on a hill overlooking Bethlehem. The night is quiet and still, yet there is an energy that fairly crackles in the air. The animals under your care feel it. They are restless in a low-key but noticeable way. You feel it too, this energy. You feel the urge to get up and move around. It is hard to keep still. Something within you says this something very special is happening. The dark sky is dotted with stars, shining bright and clear in the midnight sky. As you gaze upward, one star catches your attention. It is larger and nearer than the other stars. It twinkles and radiates a brilliant light that seems to be focused toward one thing. The star beckons, and so you follow the direction of the light. As you start down the hill, you can see that the star is casting its light on a stable behind the town's inn. The light pulls you, beckoning you along. The energy of the night grows into a sense of anticipation and hope. You know that you are walking into a miracle. The light from the star leads you right to the stable, and you see a soft light emanating from inside. You can smell the hay and animals, a pleasant, secure, familiar odor. A deep sense of peace pervades this place. And you see and you hear voices drift in the quiet. As you step quietly inside, you wait just a moment, allowing your eyes to adjust to the light. Soft voices drift in the air. As you step quietly inside, a young man turns towards you. He smiles. Great joy fills his eyes, and he makes a welcoming gesture with his hand. A woman, tired and content, sits on the hay. A tiny baby bundles in her arms. Light radiates from her in waves of serenity and joy. And she looks up at you, and she nods, inviting you to come sit by her. And now she gently hands the baby to you, saying, "This is Jesus, the bringer of light." As you cradle the baby in your arms, look into his eyes. They are clear, eternal, and you are pulled inward into brilliant, divine light, and your whole body begins to vibrate with awareness. You know who you are. You know why you are. You know everything you need to know. In this divine light, all sense of separation dissolves, and there is only one mind, one body, one heart, one love. In this moment, the Christ light is born and ignited within you. And you are so full that your light spills out and over. And we ask the ushers to come forward now to help us use the symbol of a candle flame to share our Christ light with one another and our world.
invite you to please stand. Holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round young virgin, mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly
From the point of light within the mind of God, may light stream forth into the minds of all. May light illuminate our earth.
From the point of love within the heart of God, may love stream forth into the hearts of all. May Christ's love return to earth.
From the center where the will of God is known, may purpose guide the wills of all. May we know and serve the will of God.
From the center which we call the heart of all, may the power of love and light be expressed. May this power restore God's plan on earth.
Before you extinguish your candle, please pause and send your heartfelt prayers and Christmas blessings to the world.
And now we will close out by reciting together our prayer for protection. Let us say it together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. Go in peace and have a spectacular, spectacular Christmas. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you.